This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here with Le Bonheur winemaker William Wilkinson, who's going to take us on a guided tasting of the Le Bonheur Chardonnay. This is the 2020 vintage, and I have a glass in front of me. It's quite early for tasting, but I'm good with that. Tell us about this wine, William.
Yeah, so it's only 6 o'clock in South Africa, so it's the perfect time to start tasting wines.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Le Bonheur Chardonnay 2020. 2020 was one of the first vintages that kind of creeped out of the drought season that we had in South Africa. I think 2014 must have been the last proper wet vintage. So obviously we have had great rain since 2020, so we received 800 mils of rain annually since then, and the vineyards have restored itself, and we're able to produce wines that really express terroir. And what makes our Chardonnay super special would be obviously the terrain that we farm at and so forth, but we have slightly warmer climate in South Africa. So on Le Bonheur, we are able to produce Chardonnays that are very terroir specific, and therefore with our different blocks and soils on the farm, we are able to produce Chardonnay that are more citrus driven, and then on the other side we've got blocks that are a little bit more on the riper side, which brings out more of the white pear characteristic, lingers more to the floral side. And this is a light style Chardonnay, but there are definitely oak influence in the wine. So we use a 500-liter format on our Chardonnay blonde toasting. That's purely just to preserve the essence of the terroir that we get on our Chardonnay.
So you blend all of these different lots of Chardonnay, so you end up with what is the resultant wine is incredibly complex. It's kind of, you've got that ripeness, but you've got that florality as well, and there's that nice oak underpinning there.
Yeah, that's well spotted, Jamie. Yeah, we've got the oldest vineyards on the estate in terms of Chardonnay, planted in '85. That block we harvest slightly earlier in its ripening period, so therefore we get nice texture and velvet complexity from the old vineyards. Then we have 2 vineyards that were planted in 2018, so fairly young vineyards. And the one planted on the 100% decomposed granite is slightly more riper style, and that's where we get the beautiful riper aromatics. And then the duplex soil provides the more linear, fresh acidity, citrus aromatics. So we keep all these tanks separately in the cellar. We do early morning hand harvest. We focus only on free run, and I like to ferment even the oak component in stainless steel tank for about 3/4 of the ferment, purely just to preserve the primary flavors. I believe that you preserve a lot more flavors in a controlled environment in stainless steel than in the barrel. I mean, that 5 barrelling going to barrel, you still have enough energy in the wine and the yeast to extract, the voluptuousness it needs from out the barrel. So the wine spends about 3 months in barrel. Then we bottle and we hit the market.
It's interesting from a personal point of view. I'm very, very glad you haven't gone down that kind of reductive route, which I'm actually quite fed up of from South Africa, when people are still identifying that as minerality. I'm like, no, it's reduction. But this is nice and open. I'm liking this a lot. There's a lot of wine for the money, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of the Le Bonheur wines. And you mentioned at the beginning, we over deliver to the price point, and it's great. It's amazing that we're able to do this, and it makes it special.
Yeah. Now I hear that you're quite the braai chef. What would you be pairing something like this Chardonnay with?
Yeah, so Chardonnay, especially in this style, look, on the barbecue side, I would move away from barbecue and Chardonnay. I also prefer Thai cuisine also. So I think Thai curries would be super well with this.
Right.
Indian cuisine is quite a big player down here in South Africa. Maybe more on the seafood side. Seared tuna, something like more on the Cajun style. I think that'll be pretty impressive as well with the weight that the wine's got and the freshness as well.
You're making me hungry. It's coming up for lunch. I don't have
Yeah,
anything quite as grand as that for lunch, but yeah, this is a beautiful, well-rounded Chardonnay. I think it's showing incredibly well today, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this with dinner tonight. Thank you very much for showing us around the wine. Cheers.
Yes, sir. Cheers. Yeah, correct.